Hi everyone, Jackson here. Welcome back to the daily endeavours for the 1st February. So before I get into endeavours, timestamps will be in the description if you want to fast forward through this bit or to a specific endeavour. I'm just going to go through the golden vendor if anyone wants to see that. So we've got two DLC shoulders. We've got Priatheric and we've got Masterlock. Priatheric. So Masterlock, this is a very strong PvP set. Basically, stack a bunch of negative effects on someone and do a melee heavy attack. Now, it doesn't have to be a fully charged heavy attack; it can just be a medium attack, and it's because it's basically burst damages. 6,000 damage. You can increase it by crazy amounts over that 4 seconds. So you basically stack this alongside your other burst in an attack on players, and it's quite strong. Now, this is a shoulder. So I don't think any of this stuff is worth buying for this money, because everything here is like either from easy dungeons or shoulders, which are easy to get just with keys. So personally, I wouldn't buy any of this stuff, but I will acknowledge that Masterlock is a fucking strong set, especially in PvP. So yeah, if you do want this set now to use it in PvP, you can use it because yeah, very strong. Priatheric, this is a bit of a weird one. Basically, one of the better options for like killing lots of PvE, like big groups of mobs. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure it increase the damage taken from your area of effect abilities. I don't think this affects anyone else. I think it would be I think it'd be way better if they made that add that for the group. Just make it like a unique buff that can't be applied multiple times. Because then it would actually be a really good set for group play. But yeah, that part only affects you, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, basically really strong for killing large groups of weaker enemies with AoE very quickly. But I don't know if it's like meta. I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, really good set. Just again, it's shoulders, so it's not really super worth getting, I think, for 100,000 gold. All right, so Burning Spellweave, boy, this is a goated set from a blast from the past. So this comes from City of Ash, and it is a pretty damn dependable set. Got a little bit nerfed over the years, but you really can't go wrong with this set. The only issue is City of Ash 1 is a really easy dungeon to do. Buying this for 200,000 gold when you can just get some blue ones, especially with how easy it is to go through a bunch of chests in that place. Really easy to even get purple jewelry, so I'm not a big fan of buying this. But Burning Spellweave is such a fucking just a classic dependable set. I love this set. I still use this on some of my characters on this account. Do I still have? Yeah, see, look at this shit. I've still got a Burning Spellweave Inferno staff infused that I spent fucking an eternity farming back in the day, because I used this to clear Veteran Asylum Sanctorium hard mode, because Mother Story and Burning Spellweave was a good setup for that back in the day. Alright, his sap, this is another really good set, but again, it's an overland set, easy to get your hands on. The dolmens in Shadowfen are easy to go through, and you can get a full set of this quite quickly. And again, you'll spend less money upgrading a blue one to gold using materials, because it's just cheaper that way. So I wouldn't suggest this, but this set is another really strong PvP option. Basically, you're always going to be fucking snared by something in PvP, and you just basically heal all the time with this. It's kind of... It was... when it was sort of really popular, I think it was just kind of overtaken by Mara's Balm, but that got nerfed to shit, so this is still a really good set. But it's just kind of outperformed by some other sets like Rallying Cry at the moment. But it is another really good option if you don't want to try Rallying Cry. This thing is quite dependable too. Don't use Rallying Cry with it though. It's probably not enough damage to kill anyone. But you know, up to you. Yeah, really good PvP set. Wouldn't buy it though. Sanctuary. This comes from Banished Cells. Really easy dungeon, so wouldn't bother getting this in gold either. That Sanctuary is a pretty straightforward set. Just increase the healing received by everybody in your group in trials. So it just makes getting through, like if you're doing, God, what's the word? For the first time? Progression runs. If you're trying to prog like things like more of Lacage, which or like new trials especially, which are more healing intensive, though those ones are a little bit more of a different story. This set's a little bit outdated now though, with all the other crazy sets that you can get. But you know, if you're not, if everybody's just dying, it might be a good idea just to try and get something like this to see if you can keep everyone alive long enough to actually see some of the mechanics and know what to do. But I'm not a healer main, so I wouldn't be able to say if that's like really good advice or not. But TLDR, don't buy this either. It's an easy trial, so easy dungeon. Sorry, City of Ash. City of Ash, banished cells. Some kinds of banished cells. Sterobane, I don't like this one purely because you've just got better options. I think you're really not gonna. There's not a lot of times where you're just going to be constantly taking hits from that you can just block constantly, where you can just keep restoring magic like this, and the amount of magic restore really isn't all that great. I can see like very specific uses for this, like for example in Crypt of Hearts 2, where you're trying to get the 2-key veteran thing, where you're trying to keep the ghost alive, and the tank's got constant magic damage that he's attacking, like hitting, and he's just trying to block it. Might be good, but again, you've just got better options. It's just so like specific, and you really don't get that much magic. Let's be real, from that. It's like 1600 recovery, but you're just not going to be. There's not going to be a lot of times when that much. You're just getting attacked every 1 second, and if you're just not going to be able to do that for long either, because that's a lot of strain on your blocking resources or your magical resources. Might be interesting if you're using an ice staff to block, but I don't know. Aside from that, I really don't think there's many times where this is really gonna allow you to do like certain things, whereas other sets wouldn't let you. So yeah, I don't think any of this stuff is worth it myself. Got a lot of attachment to this set, but again, just wouldn't suggest buying any of this stuff. I don't think it's worth anything. Alright, let's jump into Endeavours. Alright, so now we'll get into the Endeavours themselves. 15 seal set, event tickets, Tel Var Stones through kills and rewards, updating an outfit, place 7 furnishings, and 2 delve bosses in Glenumbra. A pretty good set. Personally, I think these two are a little bit lower value, this one here and this one here, but I mean it's 15 seal, so it doesn't matter too much. Tel Var Stones, I'll just go through this one quickly. My advice for this one, if you do want to do it, there's 2 things you can do. So firstly, you see at the bottom right there, you got the ×1. So if you get a total of 10,000 Tel Var, you get a 4 times multiplier. That directly quadruples the amount of Tel Var you'll get per enemy killed. So you basically quadruple the speed at which you can get this one done. The only issue is if you die with all that Tel Var, you lose half of it. So you lose 5,000 Tel Var. That's a lot. But if you sit on the top of the towers where you spawn when you come in here, you can basically just sit there and shoot all the enemies with ranged attacks around the tower without hopping down, and get quite a bit of Tel Var that way. Like probably 4 or 5 of the big enemies. Yeah, about 4 plus a couple of little enemies. You'll get this one done relatively quickly. Bonus points if you are in a faction that has all these districts owned. Each district increases your Tel Var gain by another 33%. So right now I'm in Evanhart pack, so I'd be getting 66, 130, 140% bonus, which is pretty crazy. So try and get in here with a character that's like all these owned by it, and you'll get it much quicker too. So those are the 2 things that can make it really fast. Just keep in mind, do not go down into Imperial City itself with 10,000 Tel Var. You will get, that is a big deficit loss, unless you just never care about spending Tel Var at all. In that case, go nuts, but I would advise highly against it. Alright, next up, updating an outfit. This one's really easy. So probably the quickest outfit station to reach is in Evanhart in Stonefalls. You've got this one here. It's like right here when you get in from the Wayshrine. Other than that, I would say use a guild hall. If you want a good guild hall on EU, I'd say this one's pretty good. Or you can just use like a guild hall. This is usually the one I go to. So, I find it's very useful for everything. Okay, so when you get into the outfit station, the two best ways I think to do this without... So there's one way you can spend nothing, and one way you can spend like very little gold. So the nothing way is you have to have hide helmet as an option. So go clear slot. It says it costs 50 gold here, but if you go to the cost here, it doesn't actually cost anything. So I don't know, it doesn't actually cost anything. So just go that, and then just go back to hide helmet. This doesn't cost anything. So you don't actually spend anything by doing that. Now if you have something on your helmet slot, you know, you would have to get this and then use the helmet, and then it costs 100 gold. Or, you know, more rare, yeah, see, some of them are a little bit more expensive, like 1,000 gold and whatnot. Personally, I wouldn't do this. What I would do instead is undo that, and you just go like a different dye color to one here. It'll cost 50 gold, and then you go to whatever color you had before, and just do that, and that's 100 gold. So that's another way to do it very cheaply. Unfortunately, I don't know of any other way to do it for free that would that you could just do without affecting anything. But yeah, I just, that's kind of why I like having characters with hide helmet, because I can just do this without any issue. Alright, easy enough. Let's move on. Alright, event tickets. So you can do the event tickets one using the delve bosses in Glenumbra, but I personally would say that you would be able to do this one just a little bit quicker, or just do the endeavors at completely a little bit quicker if you do the event ticket and then the furnishings. Because the issue with the delve bosses, if it's too busy, it's the same thing with diamonds. There's a lot of things you can do to do the tickets. You can do giant, like you can do a world boss. You can do public dungeons. You can do diamonds, same thing. The diamonds as well. The dread bosses of diamonds also count. But the issue I have with diamonds, and especially delves, is if it's too busy, and Glenumbra is definitely going to be busy, I'd say, you can actually miss your tickets when you do this. If you don't do enough damage, you don't get loot, and you miss out on the tickets that you might be able to get from these. So I find that Nutta Tambu, or just public dungeon bosses in general, are just, I find you're a lot more God, what's the word? You're going to have a much better chance of getting your tickets from killing public dungeon bosses, because especially in Nutta Tambu, there's 3 bosses for the public dungeon group event, and I'll show you why it's so good. Because another issue is that in most cases, all of the bosses, they take 5 minutes to respawn. Ooh, I'll just get that Peter. So you might be waiting quite some time for it to respawn, and yeah, again, you're just wasting time not being able to do your endeavors when you want to do them. That's something that I really puts emphasis on endeavors that I think are much better to do. Once that you're not wasting time just sitting around doing nothing, because those times you could just be doing other stuff, right? Alright, so when you get in here, there'll be a couple of enemies here usually. You can either cloak, run past, or use Vampirism stage 4 to sprint and use invisibility and sprint. There's a boss here, and then a boss here you can use. If they're up, you can kill one of those bosses for your tickets as well. Alright, so there's enemy here. You'll find a lot of other people are going to be doing this too, and the main reason that a lot of people come in here, and the main reason I recommend it, is the group event here respawns at 30 seconds. Pretty much every other group event in the game, I think every other group event in the game, there's no substitute to this, it takes quite a few minutes to respawn. This one's 30 seconds, so hit the 2 platforms with the scorpions, they'll go away. Hit the 2 platforms with the spiders, they'll go away. And then hit the 2... did I say scorpion? I meant scarabs, sorry. So you've got the scarabs, the spiders, and the scorpions. So this is why I suggest this. There's 3 targets. The odds of you not getting enough damage on one of those is just... it's very low in comparison. Because it means there's 3 different targets for you to go for, and if there's a lot of people here, which in other cases there's going to be 1 target and a lot of people targeting that 1 person, you're a lot more... there's a lot more damage that you have to deal in order to kill these things, so you've just got more of a chance to get the damage in. to get your tickets, because it's, I think, 3% of the total damage, and believe me, I have struggled to get it on world bosses and sorry, not world bosses, delve bosses and dolmens. As you can see here, it's already respawned. That's why I suggest this one so much. For any time you do these event tickets, it's so fucking good. So yeah, I think I've talked enough about that. So getting here, you need to use the Set Spine Way Shrine in Alakid Desert. A little bit of a trek here to get here on your own. You can get someone to travel here. If you've done dolmens in Alakid Desert in the past, you'll probably have one of the way shrines that's nearby. But yeah, usually what I would do is take the boat lane from Glenumbra to Bankrai, then to Alakir, go to the north, go through here in the water, have some like movement speed buff on you to make it quicker, and just make it to this way shrine, and then go around here to Set Spine. That's usually the way I go. Right, let's get out of here. Alright, so now let's talk about furnishings. So first off, you're going to need a house. If you don't have one yet, what you want to do is come to the Rosy Line just slightly south of this stunning Daggerfall Way Shrine you've already got, and you want to come to this spot here on the western side. Felon Demarie, if you talk to her for like just spam the E key or the talk key or whatever it is, she will complete a quest and you'll get a house. The house you get depends on your alliance. If you're Old Mary, you'll get one in Vocal Guard, Daggerfall in Daggerfall, and then Ebonheart in Stonefalls, yada yada yada. Now, after you do that, come to this Home Good Furnisher right here, just on the other side of Rosy Line. And what I do is I buy 10 woodcutting blocks. It's 1,000 gold, but there's a reason for this. It makes doing this one a little bit quicker. You don't need this. It's not mandatory. You can actually get this one done with the house itself. It's just a little bit slower. So here we are. So this is the Rosy Line one. So as you can see here, as soon as you get this house, you start off with this little rough candle here. So this, you can actually use this to do this endeavor. You don't need the rough wood cutting blocks. I just find that a little bit quicker. So the biggest annoyance that you'll have with this one is if you pick up this to move it around, you can't just pick it up and keep moving it over and over to get this one done. They actually have to come from your inventory and be placed into the room from there. So in that case, what you'd want to do is you'd pick it up, press the stow away key, go back into place, lighting, candle, and then place on the ground. I don't know where the bloody hell that went. What the fuck? The issue with that is, like, every time you'd place it, you'd have to go find it again, and it just takes longer. That's the only issue. Oh, there we go. Surface drag on. There we go. So you just have to keep doing that over and over. So place it and then pick it up, put it back in your inventory over and over. All that the wood cutting blocks do is just, because it's a stack of items, you can do this as anything. Like if you have a stack of anything, you know, those like throne skull, like the skull thrones that they added for free that was a while back, like you can use shit like that. It's just as long as it's a stack. The reason for this is when you place it, you can immediately place another one, so you can just keep going through without having to get a new item from the list. So it just cuts down the amount of time you need to do this one. That's all. So you can do it fine with just the house. It's just, if you want to do it a little bit quicker, just get like a stack or something just to speed it up a little bit. That's usually what I do. But yeah, very easy one, that one. And cost effective too. Alright, so last up we've got delve bosses in Glenumbra. So the easiest one to get to is just outside of the Daggerfall Way Shrine. You go straight up north and Spelunma's right here. There's also a Listen Tower here. There's 4 more. So we've got Endum, you've got Cryptwatch Fort, you've got Mines of Cuirass, and then you've also got... where's the other one? Ebon Crypt, sorry. Yeah, this one. So it doesn't matter which one you go to. There's... even if there were multiple bosses in a delve boss, they don't count. It just counts as a singular boss for these endeavors. I've tested this stuff before. Same thing with the Gone Pursuits. The Gone Pursuit one is a little bit wacky though, and you can actually do multiple at the same time. As far as I'm aware, none of these actual endeavor ones can be done the same, like, sort of cheesy way with them attacking the same thing someone else has attacked. So you're just going to have to kill the bosses twice, and that means you could be waiting quite a while. That's why I don't suggest this one too much. But all you have to do to get to Endum is you can literally see the entrance from here when you look at the from the wall in Daggerfall. So just come down here, Just be a little bit careful coming down here, because if you jump straight down there, you'll probably die landing. You might not, but I usually do. So when you get into Silum, literally just across east, that's where it is. So just get all the way across to the other side. So I find easiest way to get here is through here, because this way here is barred off. You can only come back that way from the other direction. There will usually be enemies in here, but because there's so many players probably trying to do this one, I would imagine that everything in here on the way is going to be dead. Alright, so we've just arrived and the boss is dead. So now you would have to wait 5 minutes. And that boss, I think, just spawned. And yeah, so they will die very fucking fast. So you can get your tickets from this, as I said in the event tickets endeavor. But man, you are going to have to... You're going to have to do a ton of damage as soon as they spawn. Like, you're literally just going to have to sit here and just watch this spot here. And just, like, as soon as you see it, just go fucking nuts. Because everyone here is going to have the same idea. Now, the easiest way to know, just looking like here, is when the boss is spawned. At the top where the health bar is, it will show like the big red health bar, the one that covers like the size of the compass. So that's usually an indication that the boss is spawned, as long as you stand right here. But if you're in your inventory like this, you won't know. You'll just have to keep an eye on them here, and as soon as you see them appear, you're just going to have to get out and fucking kill them fast. That's why I'm not a big fan of this one, because as you see here, we're just waiting. We're just waiting, not doing anything. Whereas if you go to Natatambu, you can just get the public... Like, the group event would have already respawned by now. So I just think that one's way better. And it would have stayed long enough for you to kill it if you had taken this long to get here. So yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this one. It's easy to do, and it's like, it doesn't require anything, but as far as time goes, it's definitely not as good as these options, I think, here. So I'll wait. I'll wait this whole time, but yeah, it is not a very good option. So while we're waiting, I did archery today with my brother. It was quite interesting. There's a lot more that goes into it than I thought. I used one of those, basically the most starter, like entry level, just like recurve kind of long bows, and yeah, had a lot of fun. Honestly, I try it out if you're thinking about it. But there's a lot more that goes into it. I slapped my arm with the bowstring because I wasn't holding it properly, and holy fuck, did it sting! Yeah, a lot more painful than I thought it was going to be. But I only did that once. Everything else is pretty good. There's like a certain way you got to hold it with your shoulders, and you basically can't lift your shoulders, otherwise sometimes the arm gets in the way. But yeah, I had a fucking... I had a blast. It was really cool. Oh yeah, so he's in, and he's already fucking half dead. See what I mean? You did not have a lot of time to fucking hit this guy. See what I mean? You do not have a lot of fucking time to react with this one. I don't like doing these ones for that reason. So yeah, I just suggest doing any of these ones here myself. You really don't need to see that again. That was just waiting. So, alright. Endeavors are done. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time. And take care.